Hi, my name is Andrea, and the purpose of my practice at Somatic-Wise is to support healing trauma and regeneration of health and well-being, individually, communally, and in our biosphere. I'm very concerned about the profound human-caused degradation of our natural environment. This destruction is a big contributor to stress and mood disorders, in addition to threatening all life on Earth. So, to start helping, I've made my urban backyard into a little oasis for the plants and creatures that were here before industrialization. I've personally come to believe that recovery from this mess we've created depends on two things. The first is believing that we can heal from this. Unshakable optimism is basically a refusal to give up, and it keeps us moving forward. It prevents us from going into overwhelm and turning away, pretending it doesn't exist. Ignoring and continuing with business as usual continues worsening the problem. Plus, restoring nature also restores ourselves. As you'll see in a moment, it offers a lot of joy. The second thing is we need a series of consistent small steps. Don't overlook the small steps. We need them, and we need lots of them. You know, I recently read Deep Survival by Lawrence Gonzalez. He studies who survives terrible situations, who doesn't, and why. I learned that survivors don't overwhelm and give up. They tend to say, well, in this moment I'm still breathing, so I can do something. I can take this next little step without worrying yet about the final outcome. This outlook is clearly something we can all learn from. Now, one backyard in this huge urban megapolis that we live in, the Southern California, or that I live in, may not seem like much, but you know what? It's vitally important to the critters who live here. And since all of us are utterly dependent on the complex processes that support life on this planet, their preservation is vital to us, too. So then, here's some recent cool happenings in my little urban oasis. We're constructing a greywater pond. It will return water to the ecosystem instead of it going down the drain, and it will provide drinking water for creatures like possums, raccoons, bees, and birds. In the city, they currently don't have very many places they can go for water. We'll use fish and perhaps bubblers to prevent mosquitoes. The greywater pond is still under construction because we're working on removing an old stump in that spot. We can't use heavy power tools on it because it's right next to the Monarch nursery. The violent noise and vibrations could hurt the caterpillars. So this is my native milkweed, Asclepias fascicularis. It's still a small plant because this is only its second year here. We had about 15 huge monarch caterpillars on it at once. In fact, they gobbled it down to the bare stems. My little monarch nursery was a victim of its own success. So my friend Cynthia, one of my naturalist classmates, came to the rescue. She cut some milkweed from the garden where she volunteers, and the cut branches got the caterpillars through the very end of their last stage, which for caterpillars is called an instar. Fortunately, this plant doesn't mind being mowed down by the caterpillars. It's a really good sport. It starts growing back as soon as they wander off into the nearby vegetation to go into their chrysalis. So now we have a bunch of new growth on the plant and also about 5 tiny new caterpillars. Next, I went away to attend some more ecotherapy training, and on the way back I stopped in at Hendy State Park and visited the coastal redwoods. It was so beautiful. These trees are about 1,000 years old, and they're the tallest organisms on Earth. After I returned back home, I went to water the vegetable garden. I pulled the hose out and it was occupied by one of my very favorite local critters, the bold jumping spider. This is a large female Pheidipus audax, or bold jumper. They are intelligent and curious little creatures. Instead of making a web, jumping spiders hunt their prey. They can rapidly increase the fluid pressure in their second and third legs, and this sends them leaping through the air at their prey. They're only dangerous if you're a small insect, though. They rarely bite humans, and I'm told that if they do, it doesn't hurt very much. I've also got these tall Russian sunflowers which I planted for their edible seeds, but it turns out the painted lady caterpillars love them, and also a hummingbird comes through and hangs out in them every afternoon. I've surrendered a few of my kale plants to the cabbage white butterflies. Their caterpillars gobble the heck out of my kale, but as you can see, the results are totally worth it. Look how beautiful they are. There are many of them in my yard, and this makes me really happy. And then the other day I was pulling weeds over by the avocado tree and I spotted this Monarch Chrysalis. Finally, I found out where one of my little caterpillars had ended up. They're really camouflage experts. I gently moved the chrysalis to a safer place on my porch table away from the paths of the local outdoor house cats. And when I checked this morning, I found this. This is a brand new Monarch Butterfly, a female, and she's absolutely beautiful. And so we were able to witness the first hours of this butterfly as she unfurled her brand new wings and prepared to fly, a process that may take them all day. That makes it all so worth it. It was so cool. I could barely take my eyes off of her. And then the next day, working on the greywater pond, I found another newly hatched female. The monarch butterfly is scheduled to be possibly placed on the endangered species list this month. We humans have taken away most of the plants they need to survive. And we also use pesticide and herbicide, but not in my yard. Here they're safe. So as you can see, even in the middle of the city or the suburbs, you can help. We've lost so much habitat, every bit helps. I am not kidding, every bit helps. If we plant plants only for our own aesthetic preference, not considering the local ecosystem, we are literally taking away food and nesting from these other creatures. However, by planting a locally native garden and not using chemicals, you are helping biodiversity to come back. Plus, it is so much fun and rewarding. My garden reduces my stress and helps me feel good every day. You can do it too. This is a wonderful teaching tool for kids. We can teach them how to hold reverence for all life, as they will need to do to survive when they inherit this planet from us. Thank you for watching Somatic Wise. In the comments below, please feel free to post a small step or two that you are personally taking to help restore our beautiful planet. Thank you for watching this video. If you would like to support my work of getting this information out into the world, you could subscribe to receive notification of future videos. You could contribute to my Patreon account to support this channel. And of course, please feel free to share this video with others. Take care. Until next time, be well.